Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. My name is Mikey and I'm going to be doing something that I normally don't do on the channel, and I apologize in advance if I sound a little stuffy. I'm a little sick with springtime and I don't know what, just probably the new weather and my allergies starting up, a little bit sick, but we're still going to get this video out because it's something I want to start doing, and that's doing patch notes for League of Legends. So obviously, there's a lot of players that are much better than me that can do patch notes, but I'm doing this more so to document the state of the game to myself and throughout the season. And I also think people can get, we can kind of bounce around off ideas off of each other and kind of get an idea for what we think the meta is like. And I can also give you guys some insight onto whether I think some things will be stronger than others. So yeah, we're going to jump right into it. So this is patch 8.7. This is the big Aurelia update patch, and they have some, they're following up on the Duskblade changes, and they're hitting Ninja Tabby, which is, it's sad, but we'll get into that later. So obviously, champion release of Aurelia. I'm going to talk about her a little bit. If you haven't, there's a ton of videos showing the trailer, the reveal, and some people playing her on the PvE. From what I saw, she looked absurdly strong on the PvE. Her kit is super overloaded, and they increased like the skill cap to her skill ceiling like super high. So if you get good with her, she's going to be an absolute monster. Right now, I think after a couple days now, op.gg, or after a day now, sorry, op.gg has her at like a pretty normal win rate, but I think it's going to take like a patch. I think it's going to take a patch of playing her for people to really start popping off on her. So basically, I'm seeing her getting double banned in like every game. Both teams are usually banning her. A lot of people just don't want to deal with it. This is the thing. When champions get reworked, or when new champions come out, a lot of people, especially the veterans, just don't want to deal with it. They just like, usually they're overpowered or they're absolute trash, but they don't want to have to deal with it because it's just something that's adding flux to the game. So it's changing the game and how they can calculate it previously. It's like, it was a kind of a cool thing I heard on I Will Dominate stream today was, he made a calculation on a gank based on the damage of Ignite, and now with the Ignite buffs, he actually died on it by like one tick. So it was the Ignite buffs that killed him, whereas normally he would not have died on the gank. So it just changes, it adds flux to the game, and it makes your instincts have to adapt to the game. So I think she's really strong. I think she's above average. Just looking at her kit, her numbers look pretty good, but there's just so much utility in her kit, and if she snowballs, she's going to be even more difficult to deal with than the old Irelia, in my opinion. So she's going to be perma-banned for a while, so you're not going to see much of her anyway. So on to Gragas. A Q ability power ratio increased, and W ability power ratio increased. So let's look at the numbers. Like with Galio, we think it's cool, and Gragas is able to feel good about building ability power when he gets ahead. He could use some more strength anyway right now, so we're giving. I haven't seen anybody playing Gragas anywhere. In like higher elo too. I'm not seeing anyone play Gragas other than the couple Gragas mains or one tricks. So 0.6 to 0.7 ability power on barrel roll on his Q and Drunken Rage. 0.2 ability power, modifier buff, Drunken Rage grants additional damage reduction. That's nice. Per 100 ability power. That's a lot of ability power though. I don't think this brings him. Gragas kit, like he always kind of works, and these might be enough. This is more of an AP Gragas buff mid, and I still don't see that being viable in the meta right now. So I don't think this is gonna see much play. Someone might bust it out in pro play, but the other picks are just way too strong right now when you're talking about like Zac, Sejuani, and then you have the assassins that are strong. I just don't think he's going to be played. Elise buffs, Q-based damage increased, human E cooldown decreased at early ranks, so her cocoon, I don't see this helping too much. A couple seconds on her cocoon. I don't think this buff is super influential. because she's kind of getting cocoon on rotation when she goes to gank. So if she had to wait like a couple more seconds, for example, like 2 more seconds on a gank, it's not that big of a deal. 1.5 seconds, and then it goes back to normal. Okay. And then her Q damage, a 10 damage increase, that's nothing. 10 here, so 10 across the board. Yeah, they're being careful with her because Elise, when she gets buffed to a certain point, she becomes like, she just has everything in her kiss, so she becomes really hard to deal with. So I like that they're treading lightly here because when Elise is viable, it's just like spammed in pro play, which it's fun to watch. It's definitely a hard champion to pull off. So I like it. It's fine. Just like with the Gragas, it brings some AP junglers into the mix, which is nice because having AP junglers allows AD mids to kind of take over a little bit because otherwise you have AD top, AD, it just gets to be a mess with a ton of AD, which you don't want. So Hecarim, W healing increased. 20% of damage to 30. That's a big buff. 10% during his W. I mean, it could make Hecarim viable. Predator Hecarim would be pretty disgusting. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Hecarim, but maybe this is enough to bring him into viability, especially the damage Hecarim that builds like Cinderhulk Triforce. Because yeah, like builds semi-squishy, needs more durability. This could push Hecarim into a decent spot. I don't think he's in that good of a spot right now, but this could definitely nudge him to like the 50% spot, like 50% one. Like he could definitely be viable, I think. Ivern, W cast range increased. Daisy acquires targets more aggressively. Daisy's area of effect damage reduction now also applies to damage from epic monsters. So dashing over walls to jungle monsters now works more consistently. That's a quality of life change. 200 range on his Bushmaker. This allows him to do a couple more cheeky things. I'm trying to think of like a specific spot on Summoner's Rift where this would be disgusting, but I can't right now. So Daisy more aggressive. Daisy's AoE. This is huge for like with how Baron centric the game is right now. The flower power. They don't give the numbers, which is weird. I wish they would show how much. Like how much damage it reduces. Down to Karthus. Okay, so Ivern. I don't know. There's a couple guys that play him really well. He's a really different champion that completely changes the game when he's in it. Like, it completely jumbles the entire game. So when he's I think they're being careful here because when he's viable, it's really disgusting. So I don't know. We'll see if he comes back into viability. Karthus, they just buffed his Q. Yeah, this is huge. But he could use it. He currently gets pushed around, so we're looking to put... So Karthus is a champion that is super strong in the first couple levels based on how good you are. So if you're good at hitting Qs, like if you're a Karthus one trick, you can do like a ridiculous amount of damage now. Like it looks like it's only 10, but you got to remember that the Q, I forget the cooldown on, is ridiculously short, and it really adds up in early laning phase. And even at max rank, you get some damage. So Karthus is a strong pick, I think, in certain situations, but you have to be able to play it right. You can't roam really as Karthus. It's kind of... you're not a good roamer. You can wave clear suboptimally, but you still wave clear. But you're looking for those nuke ults at the end of the game, as well as doing damage once you're dead. So I don't know. I think he's okay right now, and I think this is gonna make him good. So, but it depends how good you are. If like you can't he has a high skill floor. So like you have to make Karthus work, you have to be somewhat decent on the champion. You're gonna have to spam him in normals, and it's mainly a lot of good Karthus players. It's really awkward if you ever played Karthus. It's like I haven't played him that much. I played him a few games in the past, like before I left League for a year, just screwing around on like a free week champion rotation. And his Qs are really awkward to hit, and it's more about predicting where your enemy is going to be. So it's kind of people that are micro gods, but maybe lose some macro efficiency. This can be a good champion to like kind of abuse, because if you can micro your way through lane, and then it can help you learn macro by looking for alts around the map, and people will usually ping it when they want you to alt. Or you can just, pay attention. Anyways, we'll move on past. I think Karthus is going to be okay. Kayn. Passive gains more points early, fewer points later. So Kayn is like terrible early game. He's like horrible right now before this. And fewer points later. But he's really strong in the late game. But people just abuse the hell out of him early game. That's why you don't see him a ton in high elo or in pro play. He's just too abusable, and organized teams will take advantage of that. So increase the amount of points gained from interacting with any pre-time. Oh, they don't give us the numbers again? Come on. This is a good quality of life change for him. Other abilities can be queued up while casting Q. I think it's just going to level out Kayn. There's going to be less games where he just gets completely shut down. And there's also going to be less games where if he does get a lead, he just gets crazy. Leona, I've heard about this one. Leona's attack reset makes attack damage pretty valuable for her. So, this is nothing. Like, don't worry about this. Maybe if you're a bot lane player, you're like level 1 through 3 all-ins are going to be a little different. Lux. This is huge. Lux is in a shit spot right now. Our cooldown refund on kill increase at early ranks. Also triggers on enemy champions who die shortly after being hit by Final Spark. This is really good for her. This is huge. 20% extra refund. And then this is also huge too. Die to Final Spark, but die within 1.75 seconds of being hit by Final Spark. So that's like if you bind alt or throw your Q and then alt, and your Q I think gets set off after your alt, then it'll count. So or if you like auto her with your empowered auto attack or auto a champion after your empowered with your empowered auto attack, it'll still refund it. So that's huge. It's not changing it late game, but this is more of the buff than anything. This will help her in lane, maybe pick up a kill or two more, or an opportunity or two more. So I think she'll be decent. She's kind of bad right now. She spikes really hard in the mid game and then kind of falls off, and she's really abused in lane. So I think this will be good for her. Malphite. So attack damage growth increased, E ratio increased, our cooldown decreased. So I play a little bit of Malphite, and he definitely doesn't feel the best. And I don't know. Okay, so attack damage growth is going up 0.65 level, or 0.06, or 0.65 almost. No, 0.625. Yikes. Anyways, stumbled over myself there. This is good. I think your base attack damage. This will be good for Iceborne and Triforce. It's just increasing your Sheen damage and easier to last hit, I guess, barely. And this will make Iceborne a lot better on him, which it's already great on him for a damage option. This is hilarious. 0.2 to 0.6 ability power. That is a humongous freaking buff on his ground slam. So right now, the people that do play Malphite don't play him AP generally, or the people that are successful on it. You build them more so into all AD comps. Right now, the only time Malphite is anywhere near viable is against all AD comps where you have like an auto attacker top lane, and you just go Ninja Tabbies, Bramble, Sunfire, and then go full armor because you don't need any MR, and the team can't kill you. That's really the only situation where I think you can pull out the Malphite efficiently. So I don't know if this is going to make people build magic damage at all. So this helps a little bit. Excuse me. This helps for sure. I don't know, 10 seconds and then 20 seconds late game off. That's actually pretty good late game. Yeah, but this I just don't like, because it's literally a non-existent buff if you don't have any AP in your build. So they're not touching base damages here. They're just touching the ability power growth stat, or not the growth stat, but the multiplier. So if you don't have any AP, this is non-existent. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I think regular Malphite might bump up like a tad, like a nudge, a little nudge in win rate. Maybe 1% regular Malphite, if that. Nocturne, I don't like this. I think Nocturne's already strong, but this is like 5 damage. I don't know. Nocturne just shits on everybody in solo queue. It's difficult to deal with because people want to push up because they're not used to. And then every time he gets a kill, he just gets stronger. I don't think you'll see it in pro play, but solo queue, he shits on everything. Olaf, initial movement speed buff decrease. So I play Olaf top. This is gonna suck. I might not play it anymore because people have Predator, but this is just really hard nerfing Olaf and hard nerfing his top lane. But I think haste, it only lasts for like a second or two. The haste towards enemy champions. That's huge. It's the same late game, but this is like that first, like as Olaf, you want to be doing stuff level 6, and this is just taking power off of his early to mid game, and that's when Olaf has to stomp, because if you go to late, he's kind of meh pick. So Quinn fixed several bugs. I haven't seen a lot of Quinn. I remember a couple seasons ago when she was played top quite a bit, and I think that's something that could definitely be brought back in. But I think she needs a couple more nudges. She's sitting at a good win rate right now, but she's kind of an awkward champ to pull off. Rengar, I don't agree with this. They're just upping his base AD. They just keep buffing. I don't know. They keep buffing him over and over again. And, like, nobody wants to deal with Rengar. Like, Rengar, Nocturne are just... Fixed number would stop attacking and stand still after using Q on it. Well, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. They really want to buff Rengar all the time. Rumble? Oh, gosh. Q damage increase at early ranks. Damage to minions adjusted to be roughly unchanged. Okay, so he's not pushing too fast, which is good, but 40 extra damage on his level 1 Flame Sweater. That's like a 30% damage increase. Ish. 40%? No, like 30%. That's ridiculous. I don't... Rumble, when he gets too strong, just like beats everything top lane. Definitely gonna see more Rumble. That's frustrating because I don't play Rumble, and I don't like playing against Rumble. It's when his Flame Splitter is overpowered. It's just impossible to play against. You just take so much damage. Sejuani, health growth. I don't think he needed this. I don't know why they want him to be viable. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. It's not like game changing, but it definitely bumps him up in the tier list. Sejuani from 2 seconds to 1 point. Heal growth or health growth goes down. Wow, is that 7 per level? That's substantial. But Sejuani's just like kind of broke. She's a really strong control jungler. And her stun duration on permafrost or E. Yeah, 2 seconds is a little long. I agree with that. I like the 1.4. Oops, sorry, bumped my mic there. Good nerf. She needs to be brought down a little bit. This will definitely take her priority out of pro play, though. The finals aren't going to be on this patch, but you'll see it in the next split. Her priority, I think, will go down. Shaco is busted in 8-6 because they gave him a whole extra damage and they gave him basically an extra ability on his Q, which gave him damage and it scaled off AD and AP. Like, I don't know how they didn't see this coming, that he was a 50% or 56% win rate on patch 8.6. So disgusting to deal with. So, this be sneakier. Next, within 2.5 seconds. So he goes into Q and then just like, he'd come out like he just had that damage for so long. This at least makes it so he has to come right out of stealth and get you, which is, I think, a lot healthier. And they knocked this down, which is good. I think it's healthy. It'll put him back into where he should be. He shouldn't be strong for people that don't play him. Shaco is only people that play him a lot should be able to really mess with you on him. I hate it. Regular people shouldn't be able to pick up Shaco and have a 56% win rate. That's not correct. Swain was super overpowered. Q cooldown increased at early ranks. Q base damage decreased. So they're notching him back a little bit. I think he's still going to be strong. Base damage, they're taking 10 off. Cooldown's going a couple seconds. That's substantial early game. Swain's... This isn't the problem with Swain, I don't think. I don't know. This might deter him from being able to get such an advantage. It's his ultimate that's really just... absolutely crazy. You basically win any 2v2 as long as you're not super far behind. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Swain this patch. I'm interested to see that. Right now, he's pretty much permabanned. Warwick? Yeah, this is good bug fix. I don't know if this has happened to us or not, me or not. If I just kind of ignored it. That would be disgusting if this was happening a lot. Okay, Zed. Q damage fall off to units beyond first decrease. Okay. A little Zed buff. Zed's pretty strong right now. I don't know. See, I say strong, but really assassins are in a tricky spot. I shouldn't say that. Good Zeds are really strong right now. But good Zeds are not always really strong. Ginsu's, this is good. People are buying this first item and abusing it. This puts it a kill's worth of gold away, or 12 a couple waves of minions. It makes it a little more appropriate, I think. So that's good. Locket, huge nerfs. Holy shit. 38 to 30. Target level down. Bonus health ratio. Wow. Cooldown is higher. But yeah, they just nerfed this. I don't know if this is worth building anymore. I mean, you're still going to build it on your Blitzcranks, your Alstars and stuff like that, but casters won't do this anymore. Soraka, Janna, which they shouldn't be building this anyways. That's incorrect. They should be building. Right now, they build it third item, I think. Redemption, Ardent, Locket, which they shouldn't be building Locket. So this is good. It was kind of OP. Tabbies. Now this is where it's going to break my heart. I think... So I'm going to rant a little bit right now. I think the game is super, super bot focused right now. I get what they're trying to do here, but I wish they would have targeted it differently. So right now, I think this is my own biased opinion. And you can say what you want, but I think ADC and support have the biggest, and jungle third have the biggest impact on the game right now. Any lane that can affect bot lane. So I tend to find if I go bot, let's say I'm playing Scion and I stay top, it used to be back in season 5 when I started and season 6, when I would get help in League, most top lane players would say screw bot. TP ganking isn't worth it. really hammer top lane, sometimes taking Knight and low elo, and hammer top lane, freeze them from CS, and the games were going really long. Freeze them from CS, make them completely worthless, take their tower, and then go team fight. Whereas now you're getting out of laning phase super fast. Way too fast lane phase is ending. And with all the globals we have now, with like TF, Galio, Tom Kench, I'm blanking out on others, and people taking teleports, support sometimes taking multiple. Like it's honestly just the bot lane fiesta that everybody jokes about. It's just 4-man, 5-man teams going bot lane because bot lane is so strong right now, and that's the only role that matters. So the more you can impact bot lane in another role is a better chance for you winning. So I think that's because ADCs are overtuned, in my opinion. That you take some power out of ADCs and it redistributes the power. It's not just making ADCs weaker, it's making everything else a little stronger. I think that's where the game needs to go right now, because as a top laner, you can win lane and it really doesn't mean anything. Yes, you created some sort of pressure, but if their jungler is smart, they'll ignore top lane. Right now, junglers should just be camping bot lane and mid lane, and the mid laners should be playing things that can push and then roam bot, and just die 4-man bot with your jungler in bot lane and mid lane just over and over again. That's, in my opinion, the best way to win. And you see a lot of pro teams doing it. So it's just almost like everybody's just waiting for something to happen bot lane, and then everybody fights in the bot lane. It's like, so they took 10 armor off, which is huge on tabbies, and the basic attack damage reduction goes up to 12% from 10. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. Now, this is good, but I almost think we have to take a new direction with ninja tabbies, because this is the deal. In bot lane, in the 2v2 specifically, if ninja tabbies are more gold efficient than berserker greaves, they'll build it, because they're both auto attack damage 80 carries. So the thing is this might not take. This pushes the power of ninja tabbies to a later point in the game instead of early game, and I think that. I don't think 80 carries will build it anymore, but this is the problem with doing this is it's a nerf buff, and I think it's overall a nerf, which I'm scared about because it makes 80 carries stronger. This is gonna make like Quinn top lane even stronger. I'm just worried about like the state of the game. People are running 3 tanks, 4 tank comps because 80 carries are so strong. It's like you just protect your 80 carry and you jump on their 80 carry, and hopefully your 80 carry puts out more damage than them. It's kind of, I don't know. And we're going down like a slippery slope here because it adds. People wonder why it's a tank meta. It's a tank meta because it's an 80 carry meta. Why is it an 80 carry meta? Because it's a tank. It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg. And in my opinion, you got to take power out of ADC right now. I understand assassins take power out of ADC, but they're like, okay, so you argue that assassins counter ADCs and assassins are getting buffed and buffed and buffed, but with all the items that we have now in these last couple seasons, as well as the shield creep and the CDR creep, like every 80 carries escape and support has everything they need to get them out of a situation. Heck, even top laners are building items like Knight's Vow when they get to team fighting, and like Locket and stuff like that. So at least they nerfed Locket. But anyways, I digress. I think this makes ninjas stronger. Not stronger, but they're fine late game. Really bad to like rush first item, which I like to do top lane. So that's a bummer. It's more of a niche pick against auto attackers. It's no longer just like armor boots. So I think the boots is a good way. I think they should scrap ninjas. Scrap this idea of how they're like. I honestly think you can. This is a buff to assassins because everybody that builds it. They'll have less like pure armor, but auto attackers are going to struggle late. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be super impactful. Aura items, this is huge. I play Cho'Gath, and some guy did the math on it on Reddit. Bomby Cinder, Sunfire Cave, Cinder Hulk, Abyssal Mask, Infernal, Righteous Glory, proximity check. Yeah. So Cho'Gath would hit a certain stack size where it measures from the center, or from end to end. So your auto attack range was outside of Abyssal Mask, or like Sunfire Cape would not work around your champion model. So I'm glad they fixed that. That's good for Cho'Gath because Abyssal Mask is a really good item on him because into AP matchups, which I usually pick Cho'Gath into. It's a good item because you get damage and your Vorpal spikes do more damage and you help your mid laner who might be AP. So it's a really good item, and this just makes Cho'Gath more efficient. It should be like this. It shouldn't have ever been different. Relic Shield gets super hard nerfed. 2 gold to 1 and a 4 to 1. 4 to 1. Yeah. I agree with this. Relic Shield strong. Resolve Tree. So they're nerfing the health you get early by a lot and making it more later. I like this. It creates more aggression. You don't have people taking Resolve secondary and just absolutely cheesing everything. Or being able to withstand any cheese. I think it's good. It adds more early game aggression. The later game, a little bit more health is good. More of a scaling oriented idea. Mana Flow Band has quietly been one of the strongest runes on the champions who use it best to make it more accessible or trying to its variance to game skill and landing spells, not the cost of those spells. Hitting enemy champions with the spell grants 25 maximum mana up to 250. 15-second cooldown. Yikes. So I saw this. I watch other people's patch notes, but I forget it pretty quick. So I wanted to do this for myself. But I think this is super strong, especially in like top lane. Even in mid lane, there's so much mana and CDR in the game now that you're just spamming spells. So basically every time it's off cooldown. So let's say you're proccing this twice. So after 5 waves, like you're maxing this pretty early in the game, and then you just get this forevermore. 250 mana is a lot of mana. So the champions that don't use Ultimate Hat will use this now for sure. This is kind of ridiculous. They need to increase this cooldown like to 30 seconds. I think. I don't know. It could be 30 seconds and still be viable. Presence of Mind. Enemy takedowns restored 20% of your max mana. I don't know. This is more of a mid lane rune. Very like situational based on champion. I don't know. You might have to go with someone else for an idea on Presence of Mind. Legend Tenacity, getting more per stack. So obviously more at max stacks. I don't know if people still run. Some people that want Tenacity will run this. Maybe if Nasus goes Conquer, he might take this now. I think he already does, actually. Excuse me. Cut down. Nobody's going to take this because Coup de Grace is better. Right? Yeah, Coup de Grace is still better. So no one's going to take Cut down. Zombie Ward, good. And I'm all for less vision in the game. I don't like the whole Zombie Ward thing. I think it's just such a stupid cop-out to that line of in the domination tree. Such a stupid cop-out, in my opinion. They did good by taking the wards out of the jungle, or from the junglers, and taking Sightstone out. I just less words. Okay, guys, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Approach velocity. I was running this on Olaf for a time. This is really good. This could potentially be used on like Olaf, Cho'Gath with his slow on Vorpal spikes. Anybody who needs to stick on to people with slows. So this is a big buff. 5% movement speed. That's like what you get on like a Phantom Dancer. That's substantial. I think people might run this now. Absolute focus. That's good. That was how much it gives. Minions. So the minion changes are here. I think this is good. Caster minions gold is going down and they're not growing. Melee minions are going up. Siege minions are going way up with the gold growth down and higher health. I don't know. People will obviously fight over siege minions a little more. So having lane priority might... It's like 15 gold though, guys. 15 gold over... Yeah, I don't know. If you have control and you make the guy miss every siege... Or a couple sieges compared to you. A couple more than you, you get like a 30, 40, 60 gold advantage. I don't know. Not too impactful. I don't think. It might... I don't know. Mid laners might have more to say about this. Crest of Cinders. I like this change. Stones can't burn. So red buff doesn't burn turrets. So I said earlier in the video, I think laning phase is way too short right now. It used to be a lot longer. Right now, literally, it's like people are chomping at the bit with their hand over their D or F key on teleport to try to like blow up bottom lane. Like it's so funny to me. Like everybody's just like, okay, how can I impact bot lane? Nobody really is accruing huge advantages in lane unless you mess up. A lot of runes have now allowed that. I do like the buff to ignite. That's changing it a little bit, but still a bot lane fiesta, and whoever wins the bot lane party has a huge advantage. So I like this because it takes the advantage out of that. If everybody bot lane fiestas and they kill 3 or 4 people and they push a tower, the red buff is pushing down turrets too quick, even if you just get ganked. Like not level 3, but let's say the jungler comes back after their second rotation of red and kills you top lane. Let's say the enemy laner might have chunked your turtle a little bit, but probably not. If they're like a Jax this is I think like more so targeting Jax jungle, is you just wail on the turret with an auto attack based top lane or two, just whack, 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 applying red buff, and you just lose first tower. So especially with first tower gold nowadays, that I think they should take that out of the game. I know that's kind of bold to say. Take first tower gold out, the extra gold. And I like this change as well, and that'll make the laning phase go longer. Because right now, it's like, okay, so what's the 2 most efficient things in the early game? You can get first tower gold, which is essentially like 2 kills, and you can put it on one person. So what do? They fiesta bot lane, and they try to kill the enemy bot lane, and then you have a bunch of people down there to take the turret, and then you give it all to the AD carry. Because that's who's is gold efficient right now. The most gold efficient role is to give it to your AD carry if he stays alive. So I think they should take the most gold out of first tower, and this is a good change. Attack move on cursor. Okay, that's good. Voice chat, I don't use it. That's fine. A bunch of bug fixes. Upcoming skins and emotes. Buy chests, and that's it, guys. So pretty good patch. Some things I'm confused about. I still think the meta's kind of like this death ball 5v5 around Baron. Whoever has a stronger AD carry wins meta. I know that's pretty pessimistic. I like team fighting metas, I do, but everything else is there's a lot less individuality in your play right now. And in my opinion, if you're looking to have the most impact on the game, you play ADC and you try to become a good ADC. So that's patch 8.7 notes. I'm going to do this every patch. It helps me organize my thoughts, go through the patch notes myself, and really pay attention to them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Other people that do the patch notes that I can recommend, I Will Dominate does patch notes. Scar does patch notes. Sometimes I'm a Cutie Pie does them. Some other people do them, like some like LS occasionally does patch notes, and he has a really good insight onto the game. So there's a bunch of high tier people that do patch notes. So I know this is kind of like the standard, but I want to start doing patch notes on this channel, so at least it reaches you guys if you're not reading your notes. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to go try to feel better, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.